In a recent interview, veteran Marvel writer Dan Slott said something that kind of troubled me about the direction of Marvel Comics. Hi, I'm Jordan the Nerd of Gold, and I'm going to paraphrase him when I say this, but basically he said that every book at Marvel is on a 5-issue time limit, where if you don't see enough orders for issues 2 and 3, it's not going to make it past issue 5. And that's really troubling to me, not necessarily because of a numbers thing. I'm assuming Marvel has some kind of reason to do that. Like they're looking at sales data and kind of trying to moneyball these series in terms of like what's going to sell, like which combination of writers and artists, all that kind of stuff, to try to maximize their profits. At the end of the day, they are a business. But I don't think this is sustainable for long term if you're just constantly canceling books after like 5 issues, because fans are not as familiar with the pre-order system, because comic book shops effectively mask the pre-order system by being a shop where they go to where if you buy things off the shelf, you think you're buying a comic directly from Marvel Comics, and the customer Marvel is actually selling to are the comic book shops. So it kind of like creates this weird dynamic, and I'm not going to sit here and say that I know everything about how the actual business of selling comic books goes, but I just can't see basically canceling every book after like 5 issues as a really sustainable thing. And I also don't see it as sustainable for creators, especially if you want to hold on to long-time talent, because Dan Slott has a new Spider-Man book coming out that is titled Brand New Day to tie in with the movie, and it's a story that takes place in the past when he was originally writing Spider-Man Brand New Day. Which, side note, why is Marvel making a new comic book for Spider-Man Brand New Day when they could just release a new collection of Spider-Man Brand New Day by Dan Slott? Because that was an excellent jumping on point. I had not written or read mainstream Spider-Man comics for a while when I decided, yeah, Big Time and Brand New Day seemed like a good time period to jump on, and Big Time was excellent. I loved Big Time. I know Dan Slott's air on Spider-Man is hit or miss in certain aspects, but largely I think Dan Slott is excellent at writing Spider-Man. So again, from a marketing perspective, I don't know why they aren't just like leaning into selling Big Time or Brand New Day just as like new additions rather than adding a whole new story that takes place in that period. I don't know. It just seems weird to me. But either way, I don't know why Marvel is doing this. And again, it just doesn't seem good for the culture. Like, if Marvel fans are going to really invest in these characters beyond like the mainstays like Spider-Man or Captain America, then yeah, you've got to do more to get fans to think that that book is going to be around, that it's worth buying the first issue for in the first place, if they have a consistent feeling of, oh, this isn't going to be here after like issue 5. Why don't I just wait until the trade paperbacks? Like, I understand that Marvel probably makes more money on the trade paperbacks, but if that's true, just release them like that instead of wasting people's times with these single issues. I feel like that's the best thing to do.